Carly Magpie. I've been neglecting my garden all season, but I am finally sort of starting my fall maintenance, and I am just gonna choose to be Delulu and say I'm gonna have summer forever. I am in zone 6A or B, I'm not really sure, but we're supposed to have a record long growing season and late fall, allegedly. So I am not tearing out anything yet. I am letting it go. So today I am gonna take you through my garden, give you a tour, as well as do like a harvest with me, garden with me situation type deal. All right, let's get started. Part I am least proud of. It's weed city over here, but the weeds have sort of been acting as trellising for my tomatoes, so I'm not too mad about it. This is pigweed. It's the bane of my existence. I hate it so much. It's very spiky and ugly. These, I believe, are evening primroses. They're gonna flower. I think they're pretty, and the pollinators will like them, so I don't care. And then we have some chocolate tomatoes down here. As you all know from my shorts, I like to take tomatoes once they hit the breaker stage, which is when they start getting this beautiful red blush. At this point, their flavor has fully formed, and because I have critters here, I like to get the tomatoes before the critters do. Volunteer amaranth here. I think it's probably more of like a weed invasive variety if I had to guess, but it gets very tall and works as fantastic trellising for my tomatoes. We have another random one right here. I think they're so cool. These are my beautiful sunflowers. I'm so glad they finally popped up. I might let a few go to seed so I can collect some for next year. I have sunflower seeds already, but you can never have too many. Plus I can feed the burbs. As you can see down here, it's Tomato City. These are my blue cream tomatoes. I'll probably grow them next year because I already have the seeds, but I don't really love the variety of them. I wasn't gonna get any heirloom tomatoes or Brandywines, but as you can see, they're actually doing okay. I just have to wait for them to break and just get a little red because my groundhogs love these. More tomatoes. I have a ton of cherry tomatoes. I bought a Jasper tomato plant at a local plant sale, and it is just exploding. If you do cherry tomatoes, highly recommend the Jasper variety. It's a hybrid, super prolific. And then I have my San Marzano tomatoes. I am obsessed with these. I will be growing these forever. This one's ready to pick. Just a little bit orange. It will finish ripening on my counter. Tomatillo plant. This is another. I need to make a decision here. They're not doing super well. They're producing a lot of fruit, but the fruit isn't like completing before it's dying. So I might just harvest them early and make salsa or something like that, or just commit one way or another. But the pollinators love the flowers, and I love pollinators. Look at my little Rosita eggplant that finally grew. So cute, little baby. Look at her. She's so gorge. I have more mess of tomatillo and weeds over here. Here's my okra plant. I grew it because I knew someone from Louisiana and thought he'd like it, but then he moved. So I'm growing them for the flowers now. The flowers are these beautiful hibiscus looking flowers that the pollinators really love, and I will do some pressed flowers with them. Here are my beautiful zinnias. Over here we have some more eggplant. It's looking good. I might give these a few more days. I might harvest them early. I haven't decided yet. More tomatoes. My favorite plant, my jalapeno plant, it produces like an absolute workhorse. Look at all of these beautiful things. I'm going to be making hot sauce later. It's part of my daily chores. So we are taking all the tomatoes we can get, or the idiot, dumb bitch, all the jalapenos we can get. And then the bane of my existence are these Thai bird's eye chilies. They're yummy, they're hot, they're a pain in the ass to harvest. I'm gonna pick as many as I can. I might tear out the plant soon so I don't have to deal with it anymore. But I'm gonna make a chili crisp oil out of these little bitches. And Marzano plants blushing, beautiful, so excited. Here are my brandywines from the other side, and here's my hollyhock that finally decided to bloom. Can you see it? She's pretty. Can you see her? My personal favorite part of my garden. My dahlia plants, my amaranth, and my tomatoes. So I will be harvesting these dahlias because they are my favorite flower, basically. And I like putting them in with this amaranth. I will never not grow this ruby red garnet amaranth again because it's so pretty. It is incredible for hand cut bouquets, and it trellises my beautiful cherry tomatoes super well. Review of my garden looks like, frankly, it needs a lot of work. It's messy, right? Oh, look at these! My purple bell peppers, my lilac bells. Ah, isn't she so gorgina? I'm gonna get really into harvesting. I'll bring you along with me, and then I'll do some weeding and maintenance, which is the boring part. Harvest a bunch of these amaranths, both kinds, the kind of weedier kind that might not even be amaranth, and my real amaranth, because again, so beautiful for flowers, and I have a bunch of flowers ready right now, which means I'm gonna be making 1, if not 2 bouquets. Tomatoes has become sort of my favorite thing to harvest, especially these little cherries. One, it is like instant gratification to just pick them because they grow so quick and they ripen even quicker. But I also really like how much of a treasure hunt it is because, you know, on the surface you can see the tomato plants, but you know, they've been neglected and it's getting later into the growing season, and so they're starting to die back, which means I really have to get up inside all the sort of nooks and crannies of the garden to find these beautiful tomatoes. Now, I'm not a cherry tomato lover. I like them in the TikTok pasta, basically, where I add boursin and garlic and all of that good stuff, but I'm not huge on them. But they grow so quickly and I like them so much, so I know what you're thinking, Carly, what the hell do you do with them all? Easy answer, I give them away. Grocery prices are expensive. I like to contribute to my community. I have tons of people who like them. Why not give them to my loved ones and coworkers and even hated ones? Tomatoes are tomatoes. I like to provide. Because I'm starting to work on my jalapeno plant. I have to give a considerable amount of time to this plant because it grows pretty quickly, but the leaves like to sort of get eaten up, and so I like to get these off pretty quickly. This is my second big flush of jalapenos. They grow so quick. This is an early jalapeno variety. I bought the plant established already. I'm noticing that the second flush is not as prolific and the jalapenos aren't getting as big, which is fine. I turn most of them into sauce anyway. This is about the average size I'm getting, but I'm still grateful for it. So I'm gonna spend some time taking tomatoes that are dumb bitch, jalapenos that are ready, and getting off and pruning some of these icky leaves and giving more airflow, less molding, all of that. These are probably going to become maybe salsa, maybe hot sauce most likely, and maybe even candied jalapenos. I saw a really good recipe from my friend Rocky Mountain Rach, that I might try out. Peppers. I love growing peppers. They're one of my favorite things to grow. There's so many ways, usable ways to preserve them. A lot of these gardeners, a lot of these homesteaders just preserve every freaking thing, and if that works for them and their family, I love that. It doesn't work for me and mine. I'm not likely to use pickles, any of that kind of stuff, but I love peppers because I love seasoning with peppers. You can dry them out, turn them into spices, all of that. These are going to be habaneros. I'm going to try making a habanero spicy sauce. It will be very yummy. Look at how beautiful and colorful this harvest is. Certainly not a gardening expert at all. I hope you didn't come here for gardening advice. I'm assuming if you're here it's because you like my personality, or just you were asleep and YouTube showed this to you in the background. I think everyone should garden in some way. Any capacity they have in which to garden, they should pursue. Now, I don't have space in my home for gardening supplies, right? Or a yard. I'm in an apartment, but my community has a local community garden. So I encourage everyone just to seek out their local community gardens, or if you have a balcony or a plant life, growing food for yourself and your community has been truly so good for my mental health and my regular health, because I'm out here getting physical exercise and eating fresh produce. It's awesome. Checking back in, I've harvested, I think, all I'm gonna get. Full selection to work with. I did actually get some tomatillos. They might be a little premature, but I'm gonna make a salsa out of them anyway. My hot pepper plant, like, it truly was not worth it anymore. And now I have better access to tomatoes. Now I'm gonna weed and prune until I fill this wheelbarrow. Is harvest mostly from my plot. I got some weeding done. Last couple things on my list, just got 3 before I head over to the herb garden for part 2 of my day, not part 2 of the video. This will be one video. Told you I'm Delulu, so let's see if I can squeeze some radishes and carrots in before the end of the season. I'm gonna plant them, chaos plant them, water them, and fertilize them. We'll see. I spent some time harvesting some flowers and herbs from the shared community herb garden. I'm picking up a bunch of herbs for some colleagues of mine. There's more than we can do with here, so I'm spreading the love. And then I'll show you everything I got today. Okay, someone came into the garden and started asking me a bunch of questions, so this is all I got. Bye, thanks for watching.